Hi, everybody. I hope you're having a wonderful day. I'm having another snow globe day in this wonderful Great White North. Today, I want to ask a question mostly to the ladies. And I've been thinking about this for a very, very long time, and I'm curious. So this could be a very polarizing video, but I don't really care because it's an important message, and I'm really honestly curious about how you guys feel. I've come across a ton of different events, coaching programs, those kinds of things, workshops that are women only. And I really am curious as to why we as women do this to ourselves. Why do we create women only environments? Is it because we don't feel that we're connecting with our male counterparts? Is it that we don't feel that our message is important to the men that are around us? And I'm always been very curious about that. When I developed my coaching programs, both past and present, I was very, very, very clear that I do not want to be branded as women only. And it's not because I don't support those things. Women's issues are huge. We do not have equality. It is not fair, and we still need to push for that. But here's my thing. Here's my opinion about this, and I'd love to hear what you have to say. I have 3 sons and a husband, and they need to hear your message. There are so many women that have powerful, powerful programs, powerful messages, and it pains me that there is no way for my son to be able to hear that particular message. So why do you, if you run a women's only program, why do you do that? I really, really honestly and truly want to know. So here are my thoughts as to why these things happen. I fully believe that women create these women-only things because we either, and again, I'm talking, this is my opinion, and I'd love to hear yours, so chime in at any point in time. We feel that women connect easier with us, and that's normal, right? In the book, Influence, do I have it? Oh yeah, this one. Great book, right? Influence, the Psychology of Persuasion. It's a fantastic book by Robert Cialdini. Being like people is very, very powerful. It's a way for us to instantly make connections, right? So I totally get that women are wired the same way. And so it's easier to convert women into believing our message and following us because we are wired the same. However, I would absolutely argue that a lot of the things that women teach in these women-only opportunities are things that men would benefit from the most too, right? See, Gary, thank you so much for agreeing with me on this. I think it's really powerful because, again, I want my children, all of them, boys and girls, to be able to have the same opportunity to hear powerful messages from women. How else are they going to know how powerful we are? How else are they going to know how motivating we can be? How else are they going to feel what it's like to be a woman unless they see it? I want my boys to pick good women. And so I want them to be surrounded by good women. I want them to be motivated by good women. I want them to be inspired by good women. Why is it bad, if from a societal perspective, for a boy to look up to and revere a woman? It's really not encouraged from a societal perspective. Why? Right? There are brilliant women out there. Ruth Ginsburg, there's a movie coming out all about her struggle and her fight. I am bringing my boys to that. I'm like, you have to see this. This is important. It's as important to understand women's relations as it is to understand about racism and about prejudice and about all those other things that isolate certain people in our communities. And it's so important for them. Why then? And ladies, I am specifically speaking to you. Why do you withhold that? So sometimes it's because we feel as women that we are put down by some of our male counterparts. And you know what? Yes, that happens all the time. Funny story about that. And again, this is just my stories. I'm sure, ladies, you have your own examples. When I just started, just out of school, I had a male colleague, and he had a desk, right? And he asked me to come over to help him out. So I sit down with him, and he yells out, I've got Rebecca on her knees in my office. Awesome. That felt great. Another time I worked at, so that was the first job, the last job I had where I worked for anybody, because this just wasn't working out. This among a whole bunch of other things. We were in a conference room. There was probably about 20 people. And someone came, like one of these guys, they were just kind of bantering back and forth. And he took a $20 bill and he slapped it on the table and he's like, Rebecca, why don't you give us a dance? This is in a business, in a conference room full of people. Someone slapping a $20 bill and asking me to do a dance. So guys, I get it. Ladies, I understand that being a woman is sometimes a humiliating experience when those kinds of things happen to me. And I am positive that there are so many more of you out there that have experienced far worse than that. Sometimes, extremely traumatic stuff. I've been blessed with not having that happen to me, but I know way too many women who have been subjugated to that kind of treatment. But from that story that you create as a woman, there is so much power, so much power. And men need to hear that as much as we women need to hear that. Yes, we can get together and we can support each other, but real change happens when everybody, including the subjugators, if you want to call them the oppressors or whatever word you want to use. I think oppressor is a little bit dramatic. But when they hear and understand what value that we have, and we are relentless in delivering that, and we don't hold ourselves back, and we don't isolate ourselves, to me, that is where power happens. And Gary, to your point, gender doesn't matter when the ideas are in the room. Abso-fucking-lutely. An idea is an idea no matter how or where it comes from. And it is just phenomenal that women have this opportunity as much as men do. And you have to ask ourselves, like, are we cutting ourselves short? Are we cutting ourselves off because we don't believe that we can get there? Is it because as women, we don't believe that we deserve to be on a big stage like Tony Robbins, right? Look at Oprah Winfrey. She did amazing work. Let's breed a whole bunch more Oprahs, right? Here's some opportunities. Again, if you're kind of don't know what to do with this, or you want some ideas, of course, I'm an avid reader, and there's 2 books that if you are, and I don't care if you're a man or a woman or somewhere in the middle or still figuring it out, works for everybody. These are 2 books that I have read that I think would prevent any marital problem from ever being experienced. Okay, it'll create a level of understanding that will allow you to overcome any objections, and it will allow you to be more influential. Okay, here are the books. Female Brain, Male Brain. Everyone go out and get these books. Okay, The Male Brain is by Luann. Oh, I'm not going to try that one. You guys can read that name right there because I'm not even going to try it. And she wrote The Female Brain too. These 2 books will describe to you how men think and how women think. And when, ladies, I don't know if you've ever had a conversation with your spouse, your significant other, or a male friend, and you're passionate about something and they look completely blank. Okay, I went through that. I used to filibuster to my husband, and he is a joyous human being. But when things would go sideways, I'd get a little bit, sparky, and we'd talk. Well, I would talk. And I talked and talked and talked because I didn't think he was hearing me. When I read this book, I realized, oh, he is hearing me. It's just, it's not on his face. As women, we take 90% of our cues from facial expressions. So if your significant other or another woman that you're talking to isn't showing understanding or listening on their faces, you think nothing's happening, and you either get frustrated, more angry, or like me, you keep filibustering. Gentlemen, if you read this book about the female brain, you will understand we wake up different every single day. Men don't. You wake up the same way every single day. Women don't. We wake up different. We are literally different people every single goddamn day. Do you know how hard that is? Do you know what that does to our brains in terms of us having to manage everything going on in our lives? It takes a village in our head just to kind of say, okay, where am I at today? And what am I gonna do? And what strategies do I need to be able to handle myself? But ladies and gentlemen, These 2 books, read them, give them to your kids. It walks through chronologically what happens to us at different stages. I read this book to understand my boys, because when they turned about 14, they started to reject me as their mother. And if I hadn't been prepared, I would have been crushed. But I was prepared because I read about the fact that because I'm their mom, they're going to reject me as everything that is childish. And so that's okay that they rejected me, because it's just a phase. And you know what? They came around slowly, but they came around. So ladies, if you are listening, and gentlemen, if you were listening too, Gary, it's been wonderful having your contribution as part of this video. I would like to challenge you to, at whatever event you have next, don't isolate yourself from the men. They need it. I am saying this on behalf of my sons. They want to hear you. They need to hear powerful women with powerful messages so they can connect with, make friends with, and if they're heterosexual, marry powerful, wonderful, well thought out women. And I want to have more examples out there. And if you pull yourself back, my great opinion, then you're preventing them from having that kind of an opportunity. Now, if you completely disagree with this video, I understand. It's a polarizing video. But I bet you there's more people out there than not who want to bring everyone together, right? In the same way that we really chafe against boys clubs, right? My dad used to take me to the Toronto club in Toronto just for fun to watch. I mean, and honestly, it was a good sense of humor. He wasn't doing it to be mean, but it was like all men, like absolutely everywhere. And I'm like, a little estrogen, go a long way here. In the same way that I despise that kind of an environment for its cliquiness and for its isolation, we women can't just recreate the same thing. That's not right. 2 wrongs don't make a right. And to me, that's 2 wrongs. Yes, we need to support each other. Yes, it's harder for women than it is for men. But we're not the only people who have, struggles in life, and we can help each other. But we can help our men to understand the power that we have. So I hope you have found this an encouraging video. Thank you again for those who have participated and are listening to this message. Spread it, right? If this is how you feel, don't be afraid of sharing it. It's okay. And it's also okay if you don't agree with this. Also totally okay, right? But the idea is, if you have a message, if you have a story, it is worth sharing, and it's worth sharing to everyone. And again, for the sake of my children, I really hope that man, woman, or again, somewhere in between, or still figuring it out, that you share your message so that they can hear it and see that power and success and happiness can come from absolutely anyone, anywhere, at any time. Thanks, guys, for listening.